Hello, everyone.
Happy 4th of July.
Belated
4th of July weekend, whatever.
What is today, the 6th, the 7th, the 8th? Happy 8th of July. My name is Brian Michael Day.
Hope your hangovers are gone. My name is Thomas Grimm.
I read a interesting quote, saw a meme on Instagram, Facebook, something, I don't know. It said, he who drinks a fifth on the 4th will struggle to go forth on the 5th. So, for all y'all out there that pounded pretty hard, that went hard in the paint, I hope you're feeling better on this beautiful Tuesday.
Hard in the red, white, and blue paint.
Yeah, dude, honest to God, I mean, God bless America, dude. God just fucking, you know what I mean? God. And honestly, we had a little bit of a panic setting everything up, so I'm still kind of internally falling apart, worrying if everything's recording, but we're going to fucking roll the dice. Hopefully we don't fuck this up. And the good thing is we don't have a guest today, so that's a plus.
I know.
That's a plus. So
we
if we
arranged the studio, made space for us.
For the 14th time, if you've followed the Days Grimm since 2020, you know that this room has been through fucking hell and back multiple times.
Yeah, it's changed more layouts than the Roman Empire changed names.
Facts. Dude, you said the way you said it to me today just really resonated with me because we were worried. We were like, so we don't have a guest for this weekend. What are we going to do? And we were kind of in a panic, you and I. And then you said, let's just do a topic. How did you word it? You said,
let's just do it like how we got the idea for the podcast.
And I don't know why, when you said that to me, I was like, God damn, I kind of fucking like that.
Yeah, it's not something we can do on a regular basis, but like in between certain news cycles,
Well, here's how I feel about it, dude. And everyone that's listening, this is going to be a full pod today. But anyways, I kind of dig it because now I'm like not stressed about upsetting somebody with anything that we say and or do. I could just take my pants off right now.
Right. And that would be that.
You got to edit it, you know what I mean? But I don't know. I just kind of, it's a vibe, dude. Anyways, all right. How was your 4th, dude?
Dude, it was fun.
Yeah?
Yeah, I got the rabbits all set up.
It's fucking nice.
Yeah.
You got fucking tanked.
Yeah. Dude, it was flowing. I don't know what happened, man.
Bush apple happened, dude.
I know. I showed up. I had lime, too.
Did
I was
you?
rotating apple and lime.
And then you had a fucking regular bush and you almost threw up.
I did, dog. I did. I had I went 2 bush apples, a bush lime, 2 bush apples, a bush lime. And I was like, oh, I can crack an OG bush and be good.
So you went 2 to 1.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
And then I was like, oh,
that's a nice ratio.
I got 1 OG.
That's a nice ratio.
I'll crack the OG. I took 1 sip and threw it in my mouth. And then I was poured it out and got another bush apple.
Oh, you ain't shit for that. You never pour out a bush.
Well, what I did, so I saw this. So I'm crazy with the garden and going organic and compost teas for my garden and everything like that.
You're crazy in general, I think, mostly.
So I saw this crazy looking dude that made compost tea, but he took all his grass.
Compost what?
Tea.
Oh, okay.
So you put like a manure, earthworm castings or whatever, and you some other organic nutrients in there, and you with a fish tank bubbler,
eggshells,
and it bubbles up like a tea.
Oh.
And then what has head on it or whatever, whatever you call it. I call it head from a beer pour.
Oh yeah. All you take that
foam,
top scrape, and so what do you do with the top scrape then?
I just let it go until it's back down to almost normal. Still bubble some, but it not as much.
And you just scoop a little bit of that out. And
then you what this guy was talking about was he takes all his yard clippings. Mm-hmm. So say he edges his driveway.
I love
and
a good
he takes
edge.
All those sweepings and puts them in a 5-gallon bucket, pours a beer in there and water and lets it sit for 2 days, and then from there strains it so it gets all that crap out.
Yeah.
And then uses that water for his garden.
Ooh.
So I poured the bush in there, so it didn't go to waste.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
fair enough.
I don't.
That
waste.
was a long roundabout way of saying I didn't waste a bush. God damn! I'm glad we went on that journey together, brother. Hey, cheers to you, dude. I've missed you. It's been a while.
Missed you.
I feel really detached and far away from you in this setup.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't feel as close to you.
Well, let's bring it closer together with the death of the week.
Oh, daddy. I like that.
The death of the
This just happened.
This just in per wishtv.com. God damn it.
Local news.
Not local to Evansville.
Local to the state.
Oh, yeah, it is. Holy shit. State of Indiana. Okay, so this article, scroll up a little bit. This comes out. Oh, this came out today. That's right. We talked about that. Sorry, this came out today. So, in the great state of Indiana, man dies while trying to light fireworks above his head.
And this came out July 6th at 12:25.
Jesus Christ. Really
Updated 2 minutes later.
minimal latency behind our podcast and this man's death.
Yeah. Short
so
article, though.
Remind me to
fresh.
bleep this fucking name because this is going to be a fresh wound. Here we go. Steinsville, Indiana. A fireworks-related incident has caused the death of a man in Monroe County.
It's like Indianapolis area.
Okay, I was going to ask you to Google that later, but good to know. Saturday night at 10:29 p.m., the Monroe County Sheriff's Office says a man died while handling fireworks in the 7,000 block of West Tabor Hill Road, around 13 miles northwest of Bloomington.
There we go.
There we go. Perfect. Shout out to B-Town, baby. Brown County. So first responders found a 23-year-old male with traumatic injuries he got while lighting fireworks. He was identified as...
Of Bloomington.
You know what? I like that a lot. And deputies say the investigation pointed to an accidental death, and a dozen witnesses corroborated that story. A dozen. Witnesses say was trying to light off a large, and this is a direct quote, trying to light off a large mortar while holding it directly above his head, end quote. The sheriff's department said in a press release, quote, they say they tried to stop him, but he dismissed his friends, claiming he had done it before, end quote, was pronounced dead at the scene by Marion County Coroner's Office.
So that example,
couple of issues
doing it for
here.
the vine.
Yeah, a couple of issues here.
There has to be footage. This is 2025.
Almost 100%. One of those dozen witnesses has footage of this man dying.
Yeah. And if you happen to listen to the Days Grim, please email it to...
Dude, low-key, I know your friend's dead, but also, how lit is that? Dude, if you could get that fucking... Dude,
it would be trending on Live Leaks.
Oh my God, we would hit national coverage. This podcast would blow up fucking tomorrow. Anyways.
Well, in 2 days.
So, 2 days. Exactly. I like where your head's at. So, again, real fresh wound. We're going to keep the name out of this. But, yeah, there's a couple of issues I have with this. One is that it's a mortar round. It's a mortar round. It's fucking huge.
Yeah.
That's what they shoot on the barge on the river.
Yeah, big boy rounds.
Yeah, brother. Yeah, brother.
Yeah. From his head. From the dome. He's trying to be that like Phineas Gage guy or whatever that shot the rod through his head and like lost half his brain.
Yeah, dude.
Like
and he lived forever.
Well, I think what killed this guy was the concussion of it going off. All that pressure down, because I'm imagining he's trying to like balance it on his head and he like drops it.
He was probably holding the base.
Yeah. And I'm sure that initial light to launch it, however many feet it goes up,
100 plus.
Yeah, straight down. Bop. TBI to the death. Has to be the cause.
God damn it. Second issue is he had tried it before.
Yeah.
Now, real quick, while the Death of the Week music is going, I'm going to ask you to Google something, and this should be easier with our given setup now. Can you open up a Google tab and just Google man lights mortar round above head? I want to see if this has been done before. Lights, mortar, firework, round, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Mortar, firework, above head. Because if this had been done before, then he must have done something wrong in the actual... Do we have one? Is there one that we can show?
Teenagers are building businesses.
Oh, look at that wiener, dude. Snip this little Actually, don't even need audio. I just want to see if it's possible. Fast forward a little bit. Oh, you literally clicked on a link that says man dies after placing lit firework on head. I just want to see if it's been done before.
Apparently it has.
No, I mean, like, I want to see it visually. You know what I'm saying?
Authorities remind us alcohol and fireworks do not mix. This after a man in South Carolina died from lighting fireworks on his head.
It's not going to show any.
We got to go to Live Leaks for that.
Yeah, we tried. Multiple people have done it. Multiple people have died.
Yeah, so this is not a rare occurrence, folks. So first off,
don't be an idiot.
Yeah, don't drink and do fireworks. But then most and foremost, like absolute foremost, don't light fireworks on your head. I think that's
the key takeaway.
Is that
has nothing to do with the alcohol?
Yeah. Well, yeah, probably not.
All right, next article.
Here we go. What are we talking about?
Courier and Press.
What are we talking about today, dude?
A bunch of different stuff.
Okay, I like this.
This is just like the first 2 tabs are like 4th of July related.
Okay, big fan. Yeah. Big fan.
Apparently, one of the biggest fireworks display in Evansville history took place in secret. Don't know how this makes any sense.
Illuminati fireworks, I'm on board.
It doesn't make sense to me. Like, one of the biggest fireworks displays in Evansville history took place in secret. Well, then how do you know it was the biggest?
Was this like in history or was it like this year?
No, this is in history.
No, I mean, did it happen in past?
Yeah. Evansville is probably one of the biggest fireworks displays in tri-state history. Hardly anybody saw it. Excuse me.
God bless
you. The only
you.
people allowed on hand that day in April 1990 were law enforcement and public officials eager to watch the show. There were rockets, Roman candles, and stacks of fireworks and firecrackers.
What?
Let's not forget the World War II hand grenade. Construction crews uncovered it at a job site off Stockwell earlier, and the pin was missing. The head of the construction company had figured it was left behind during the National Guard training in the 1940s. Once they felt confident enough to set it down, they handed it over to the police to be destroyed as well.
Oh my God.
I'm so confused here.
Okay, go back a paragraph. Go back to the previous paragraph. I think I understand. It says the head of the construction company figured it had been, zoom in a little bit, been left behind during National Guard trainings in the 1940s, and once they felt confident enough to set it down, they handed it over to the police to be destroyed as well. What it sounds like to me is they found a compilation of fireworks and they fucking burned them down. They just destroyed them. So officials put the assortment's street value at $100,000, about $250,000 in today's money. If they would have saved the haul for the official 4th of July fireworks display along the Ohio River, they would have had enough to cover 8 years. Oh my God.
An obscene amount of explosives came into police courtesy of 2 raids. One in
1989, and then the other in November.
The first recorded off a gas station where they recovered $10,000 worth of combustibles in a back room. Okay, but still, like, where?
So it sounds like to me they were destroying of explosives.
The detective said he has not decided whether or not to burn the fireworks or counter or destroy them in some other method.
So why are we just destroying
So did they
fireworks?
just do all this in private, like a hashish burning in Afghanistan or something?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me.
This
it sounds
is
like
the dumbest article I've ever read in my entire life.
And you know what? Shout out to Courier and Press.
I don't read good too, so that probably didn't help. But yeah, the Courier and Press blows. I hope they write an article about us. You guys suck.
Dude, news for you, crushing it.
Well, it's probably because we didn't pay the $1 for the first month. They just are like, yeah, I'm not gonna. This article is not even worth $0.25. Like, this article isn't worth the taxes I'm gonna pay on the $1.
It's not worth the amount of electricity we're burning to read it.
Right.
Oh, we got a spooky boy up here.
Hell
Hello,
yeah.
big fella.
So then next, I have, like, how much was the tea tax that started the Revolutionary War?
How much was it?
Basically 3 cents per pound.
3 cents per pound?
It was a 3 pence per pound. So I assume 3%, maybe pence is a percent.
Yeah. Nice, dude. Are you going to take it or no? Get out of here, bro. You're really killing the vibe, dude. All right. Love you.
But like, 4th of July was started basically from the Boston Tea Party.
Yeah, dude. And I'm a big fan of spilling tea, but also you brought up an interesting point. So we've literally fought this war
for a 3% tax on one
item.
One item.
Yeah.
Right. So then I just was like, used our handy dandy AI here.
What's the percent of tax on gas in Indiana after all taxes are applied? Give detailed breakdown. Was your cue? And then
Right.
can you zoom in a little, or do you want to? You can read it if you'd like.
Well, it says as of July 1st, the total tax applied to gasoline in Indiana is 72.9 cents per gallon.
Oh my god!
Which it doesn't actually give you like an exact. So then it breaks it down like the 72 cents. 36 cents is an excise tax. 17.5% for use tax. 1 cent for the oil inspection. And
I like that.
18.4 to old feds. So a total of 72.
Jesus, Murphy. Dude.
But like it says, basically, after rough calculating the percent, 22.6% is what the tax we pay on gas.
Dude, and honest to God, how far away are we from another revolution, dude?
I don't know.
Dude, how much?
But like, you also have to think that like certain things that we have nowadays weren't around back then. They didn't have paved roads back then.
True. Yeah,
like a lot of the stuff,
cobblestone.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff though is maintained by the people in those areas. It's not. Which I mean, I guess that's what our local tax is going to pay those people that maintain it. But like,
yeah, to a point. I mean,
but like, paying federal tax when they could federally legalize marijuana and get all the tax that they wanted from that.
Yeah. Why not, dude?
And like, you're paying a 22.6% on something that you've already been taxed a minimum of 30% just off your paycheck.
That's another fucked up thing, dude. So like, I have to, when you think about the process, and everybody knows the process, you work for an hourly wage or a salary, and then you make that money. But before you get that money in your account, it gets a federal tax, a state tax, and a municipal tax.
Unless it's going into like a Roth IRA or something.
Then that money is now in your account. Then you go to purchase something.
You've already lost some of it.
Yeah. To the powers that be,
Uncle
both
Sam.
Federal, state, and municipality. So you've already lost 3 chunks. Then you go to spend that money. Then when you spend that money, again, sometimes almost always, because there are items that don't get taxed in certain states, but like,
you're still going to pay a 7 to 9% tax.
But then again, you're getting hit again with another 12%.
That's just on groceries or, regular items. But then gas is a 22.6% tax.
What's the reasoning behind that?
The cigarette tax just went up even higher.
I know it went up like $2 a pack or something. But I wonder what the federal government's acknowledgement, like what their excuse is, because that's double jeopardy. That's
wild.
Literally double jeopardy. It's like you're hitting me twice.
Oh, more than twice. If you think about how many times you're buying, like you got to get gas.
What's
so
the justification though? Because I've already made this money and I've already freaking, you know what I mean? Like I've already paid my part. Like why are you making me pay my part again when I decide to buy something?
It's wild.
I don't understand. I just don't get it. And honestly, like anybody that's listening to this and wants to start a revolution, sign me up. I'm on your team. I'm with you. I stand with the taxpayers. And who was it? One of the founding fathers said taxation is theft. I think that's a true statement, dude. I think it's a true statement. Who stated taxation is theft? Quote. Taxation is theft. Quote. You should have put quote at the end of that. Is a viewpoint commonly held by libertarians and
liberals.
Hey, dude, put me in the liberal party, brother. I like that. Stop fucking taxing me, dude. I barely make any money as is. You know what I mean?
It doesn't necessarily...
I thought a founding father said it, but I guess not. But it really is, dude. Taxation
without representation.
Yeah, without representation.
But really, I mean, like, are we represented?
No, we're not.
Like, our representatives aren't representatives.
There's fucking 400 million of us that live here, dude. You think we're all equally and oppositely fucking appropriately represented? Fuck no.
That's wild.
Yeah, fuck no, dude. They don't give a shit about us.
All right,
so anyways.
all that 4th of July bullshit's done. Now we're into, like, the actual fun stuff. I know you don't stay up to date on, like, a lot of the tech stuff.
I just would like to say that we just did 19 minutes on, well, there was a death of the week. We just did 6 minutes on fucking starting a revolution, and we're just going to blow past it.
Yeah. To our new leader,
Okay.
Elon. And Elon, we trust, man.
Hell yeah, brother.
I would vote for
What's
Elon.
up? What's up, dude?
So Tesla has just pulled off the world's first car that delivers itself completely and autonomously.
Tesla claims they have pulled off a world first. A car that delivers itself completely autonomously. The brand new Tesla drove from Gigafactory, Texas to its new owner's home about 30 minutes away with no driver, no remote control, just full self-driving, FSD. God, that's a fucking sweet acronym.
And then so like
FSD.
here it why
Easy on the sound, too.
Yeah.
Don't blow my ears out.
I'm gonna quickly sign in so that way we don't have ads. But yeah, here's it leaving the factory. No driver, 2 camera views.
Right off the line, huh?
Yep, right out of the Gigafactory. Fresh off the line.
Damn, that's the way it fucking should be, dude.
And then in traffic,
That is wild. That is wild, dude. And then it just finds your house and fucking scoop, scoop, scoop. And
pulling
you-
up to the guy's house.
Yeah, and then you get a notification on your iPhone.
Like, why
hey,
is
your
this-
car's here.
Right. And then this guy comes out and gets his car.
Hey, your car's here, brother. God, that's
But like,
silly,
what's
dude.
also cool is they've been self-driving them from the factory straight to the loading dock. Look at all these cars, no drivers.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, dude.
Stops for the fork truck.
Yo, this soundtrack slaps.
Look at a whole line of driverless.
Puts out a Fallout vibe.
It's wild. I thought it was really cool. Have you seen?
Is this the end of the world, Tom?
Not yet. There's a lot of cool stuff. So like,
Is this the fucking end, brother?
no, but like,
Is this the end, dude?
I think about it too. Is like, so like when the tractor was invented, right? It took before the tractor was invented. We'll say it took 100 people to plow a field.
No, not even.
I mean, think about the amount of time and days and everything along those lines.
It was just a couple of dudes and a fucking ox, and it would take them a few weeks to plow a field.
Yeah, but a long time
Yeah,
to plow a field.
100%.
And then the tractor came out, and half those people just,
Yeah, they had to put the ox down and eat it.
well, they had to figure out another source of income. And I think we're seeing that with AI. Like Germany has an entire factory ran
The night shift.
by AI. Yeah.
It's the night shift. Yeah, we talked about this the other day, actually. Who was it? Is it Tesla?
Right here. Tabloid cuts 200 jobs. Some roles will be replaced by AI. But yeah, basically like BMW.
No.
I guess I should have searched BMW, not
was it BMW? I thought it was
it was
Tesla.
BMW.
Ah.
Tesla has the Gigafactory that goes and does like all that shit. But Figure Robot reportedly completed a 20-hour continuous shift at the BMW plant.
I like that. That's a hard worker, dude.
But now they're doing like basically their entire third shift is 100% automated with these robots.
I like that.
But I think you're going to see like some sort of, I think we're going to get like a universal basic income.
I hate that.
And what I hate with that is the possibilities that can come with it. China already has CCTV that has facial recognition. Have you not seen China's facial recognition stuff?
Yeah.
And they tap into CCTV, and like during COVID lockdown, like if you were outside, you might have gone missing, you might have got a fine, whatever. They were so strict about
They
it.
can dog ear you.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking like if I say faggot, which you're gonna have to bleep. But like if I say something like that, my social credit score just went down. You know what I mean? So like my universal basic income might take a $5 deduction.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You might lose $100 this week.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like you might not be able to buy eggs this week.
Yeah, all because you wanted to drop it.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like something that's what I worry about is like as everything else becomes like ease to us to where like I mean like a lot of jobs are replaceable. But like a lot of people don't find meaning in their jobs.
Is your job replaceable?
Fuck yeah.
Really? You think so?
Oh yeah. Somebody at work was like, dude, our job's not replaceable. And I'm like, really? you can put this ring into a machine,
Mm-hmm.
and it can tell you what type of stone it is,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then you look at it under a different color spectrum. It can tell what's metal, what's stone, and it can just zap new tips on that stone.
I like that.
And then what? You have a robotic arm that pulls it off of some finger holder and just zaps it on a polisher.
Yeah,
and then,
clean up the metal.
Yeah,
and the metal only.
Yeah, and it finite cuts to like exact diamonds. Like it would be way better than humans.
Think so?
Yeah, especially we'll get into farther down some of this crazier stuff. But you ever heard of Waymo?
No.
So Waymo, so like the
Oh, I know Waymo.
Yeah,
Waymo is like the cabless driver.
Waymo is a self-driving technology company formerly known as Google's self-driving car project.
Yeah,
But they basically put these giant things on top of the car that's like a fucking gyroscope that's like reading everything around it and updating with Google Maps.
Nice.
And it looks a lot like the Google Maps. Like, have you ever seen a Google Maps car?
Yeah.
It looks similar to that, I feel like, on top.
Okay.
But like Zach Parsons, who's been on the podcast,
Yeah, he
and
took a
owner of
Waymo.
Honeymoon. Yeah, he took a Waymo.
Yeah, I remember.
So
hearing
like
about this.
Waymo has their thing, but then Tesla just released Robotaxi.
I'm sorry. Oh, Jesus Christ! Tesla.
They released it in Europe first.
Tesla Robotaxi incident sparked confusion.
This isn't
and
really
concerns in
incident
Austin.
sparks. Like Waymo probably has the exact same thing. This is just a hate article by NBC, but like
That checks out.
But like the Tesla Robotaxi, like it says in here too that like it drives with like a one of their so like it technically drives without a driver, but they have they have somebody right here. Each car has a company employee in the front passenger seat who can stop the car with a button if there are safety concerns.
So then why fucking...
So then you ain't got to drive. I'm a taxi driver, but I'm sitting in the passenger seat watching YouTube, dog.
Yeah, but okay.
I got this bitch connected to a Starlink, and I'm in the middle of a COD lobby right here, fucking calling in nukes.
Look at it. No, I agree. Dude, shout out to COD. Look at it from Tesla's point of view, though. You're still having to pay to upkeep all that equipment, and you're still paying some fucking lowlife to fucking literally free ride in the fucking riding shotgun. You know
Each ride right now costs $4.20 on Cybercab.
Said something about
Robotaxi. I mean,
something about cannabis in there.
well, yeah, just a cannabis associated number that Elon Musk frequently uses, of course, for clout. You know what I mean? You got to keep
it.
In Austin.
Street cred.
But like, I think it's a cool concept. I would love this. Like, I mean, I can't wait for it to come here. They're also working on these. You know how like our Apple Watches charge, and they got the thing that magnetically goes up and attaches to it. They're working on making these. So like, Robotaxi or whatever, when it goes and runs low, it just has to like back into a parking spot, and that magnet comes up on it, and then it'll just tell it after it's charged, disengage, and then go out.
I like that.
So imagine if they put these across the country, and you could get somebody's car to deliver itself in a matter of time.
Follow me on this journey. I'm in, the year is 2020. No, this is 2019, 2018. I go to Indianapolis for a comedy show. Okay. With my brother, whom you know, and then a friend of mine, Lexi, whom you don't know, I don't think. Lexi Willis.
Yeah, she was on the podcast.
Oh, yeah, you did meet her. We're up there in Indy going to watch a comedy show. Chad Daniels, if I remember right. But we got to take an Uber to the show and then to get food after and all that stuff. We get this fucking Uber that will not shut the fuck up. Will not shut the fuck. I could put a gun to his head.
Dude, Uber's wild.
I could have put a gun to his head and been like, don't talk to me. And he'd be like, what's your favorite color? Like, it was just like he had some kind of mental deficiency.
Dude, I've had Uber drivers offer me like weed pens. Like, hey, you want to hit this? And I'm like, no, man, I don't know you. Like,
I had an Uber driver pull a fucking taser on me one time as a joke. They were like, Mr. Watts, and like lit the whole fucking car up. I was like, dude, you are insane.
Dude, I had an Asian Uber driver once, and I was like, yo, can I drive? Like,
Where do you need to go?
Can I sit you in the passenger seat? You're driving a little too fast and cutting people off.
No,
for
but
me.
so following me on that journey, how great is that? That we'll never have to talk to another fucking Uber driver again.
Yeah. I'm almost like, I wish they had like a Jetsons sort of thing where like a tube I could hop in and just get sucked across town.
Ah, that's hot.
Right?
Yeah. God dang, dude. Yeah, no, I'm
So, but like, I'm so pro this.
Robotaxi.
Yeah.
I'm pro. And dude,
And
fuck
especially
MS,
at, like
fuck
at
NBC
420,
News.
420 a ride, like it's going to be cost effective to do something along these lines.
420 a ride for like how far, I wonder.
Yeah, that's also, this is just in Austin, so it's just around the city or whatever.
Within the city limits,
Right.
$4.20, you can go wherever
Right.
you want. Okay, that's
not
bad.
terrible. Especially like a lot of these Tesla stations are run from solar power, so it's like
Yeah.
it's not really costing them other than maintenance on a car.
And the field that they're using
Right.
for solar.
Have you, so like this Tesla stuff is kind of cool. I guess this isn't like a ode to Elon episode to a degree. But
Dude, shout out to him because honestly, he doesn't get enough credit. He gets a lot. He gets dogged on a lot.
right. And dude's smart. So have you followed any of the Neuralink stuff?
A little bit. I know there's been some updates in recent implementation. I know he's done several implementations in humans now.
Right. So I guess for our listeners that
We do have a couple human implementations
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
don't we?
yeah.
Yeah.
So for like our listeners that may not know, like it's a neurotech company founded by Elon, developed a brain computer interfaces, BCIs. And these interfaces aim to establish a direct connection between the brain and external devices, potentially restoring lost functions for individuals with paralysis or other neurological conditions, and even enhancing human capabilities. So like they have different little functions that they're hoping to aim for. Multiple, like a neurotrip with multiple means of like success. So like telepathy's on here. So like we'll see some of the telepathy thing where these people that are basically fully paralyzed and they can remote access their computers and stuff like that. They're calling that telepathy.
Telepathy in my head is like I'm speaking to you, which if you had two people that were chipped up,
Maybe, God bless you.
thank you.
Then they also have this thing, Blind Sight, which is like, I've heard rumors that they're about to start this where they're going to put a Neuralink in and see if they can get somebody to see again.
Oh shit.
Or they
Whatever
may
happened-
attach like an artificial eye. But like some people, they have like Elon talked about in the future, say somebody's like their spinal cord was severed at a certain point.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question.
Right. And what essentially that spinal cord sever does is like it doesn't send the signal all the way down, so their just legs don't work because it's not getting the signal.
So we need a jumper.
Right. And essentially the Neuralink would be able to send the signal to another device that's on the other side of the break that would stimulate that signal, the brain signal,
Yeah.
to then go through. My only thing is like, all right, like we're cracking power kind of in the human race. Once we crack power, you'll see a social income or whatever the universal basic income.
I think we're going to just see social reform in general.
Right, but I
A
think
lot of things are
I
gonna
wonder how
change.
close humans are to thinking that like we're God or like we're like AI's God.
What was I? I was listening to, I was watching, or I was reading something that said something along the lines of that exactly. And it was like, that's God's job is to make us, and then our job is to make us again. So like essentially, like it almost seems
It's
like
kind of a story from as old as time though, because you think about like the Greeks who wrote like the stories of like the original gods or whatever, you know, like that like I guess popularized, you know, polytheism or whatever. But like even they had like the gods were at war with men, or like the demigods, and the demigods would fight, you know, with men. And like
I think that's our role. I think that this, like the Human Genome Project, like engineering babies and shit, like I think that's our role. I think that's our job. I think that we should not shy away from it due to, you know, conservative whatever politics.
I don't know, because then you
I
hear
think we-
stories about like the Tower of Babel.
But I think that's the goal. I think that's what.
I feel like if the Tower of the Babel was the goal, I don't know.
But maybe it's not the goal. But maybe maybe we're on a definitive timeline where we are going to collapse. We are going to crash, and we are going to end as a species.
Well,
If
I think we're
that's-
going to engineer ourselves out of existence. If Neuralink becomes a hit, like I wonder. So like and I might tap in later on, but like we're gonna watch 2 clips here in a minute from like Neuralink's latest release. Like
that brings up a
yearly
good
conference.
topic, though. Like, what about, let's say we get Neuralink efficient and functioning for people that are handicapped and have these horrible dispositions that, like, you know, they can't see, and we can make them see, and they don't have the function of their legs, and we give them the function of their legs, and we make it completely functional in these people with horrible medical dispositions. Now, once you've achieved that, the next goal is, okay, what's the next goal? Take a perfectly good human body and then just upgrade it. Like, why couldn't you just use Neuralink to upgrade a human body? Why couldn't you make Neuralink to make a normal human functional body like yours and make him a fucking star athlete to have the quickest reaction time on planet Earth? You know what I mean? Like, to make yourself super duper. Now you're talking. You know what? Does that you know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
Yeah. So like, I think that's our role is to like essentially fucking engineer ourselves into our own. What's the term I'm looking for? Not neededness.
Yeah, it would be wild. I was trying to find this little clip I saw where somebody made like a robot that was talking like in the future, like we engineered ourselves out of existence. It was like it was almost creepy.
It's hot. I'm here for it. I mean, we're gonna die. We're not to that.
Yeah.
You and I are not to the point to where we're gonna live forever. Maybe our great grandchildren, maybe, but we're not there. That's not us. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So then, but that was Neuralink, and then so like some of this, it skipped where I had saved in this. So these are let's see.
What are we looking at here? This is mind-blowing moments from Neuralink's Summer Update 2020.
Right. So they basically give you an update on the guy. They got the first one.
Yeah.
And they were talking about how some of the cords were pulling out, like the pins that they put in his brain.
Yeah.
They put so many in, and some of them were coming out, but they found a way to still get the same functionality with less pins. But,
really? Even with the cables like pulling out?
Right. But then this is like
look at Elon repping a belt buckle too, dude.
Texas,
Shout out
baby.
to him, dude.
And here we actually have Nolan playing Mario Kart. Now, what's special about this particular clip is Nolan is not the only cyborg playing Mario Kart in this clip. We actually have a whole community of users, as mentioned earlier. And this is literally 5 of our first users of Neuralink playing Mario Kart together over call. This is
wild.
Alex and RJ playing Call of Duty.
Oh, yeah.
Here's Alex shooting another person.
Right. Oh, dear God.
Oh, dear God.
I know I do, and I want him to freaking shoot him when I do.
RJ, Alex got you.
I know it is.
But it was showing like the fact that they like are basically playing games that would require a joystick.
Yeah.
And this is showing like how he's moving the mouse.
When I wake up, I'm trying to wake up at like 6 or 7 a.m.
But it's like mind blowing crazy there. So then like go to this.
On the camera.
What am I looking at here?
The last user I want to talk about is Alex.
Part.
You've seen some clips of him earlier. What's special about Alex to me is he's a fellow left-handed guy who writes in cursive all the time. And what he mentioned is since a spinal cord injury from like 3-4 years ago, he's been unable to just like draw or write. And he always brags about how good his handwriting was. So we actually got to put it to the test. We gave him a robotic arm. And I think this is the first time he tried using the robotic arm to write anything. And this is a sped up version of writing at the convoy trial.
Dude.
And drawing something. And you're about to see him and his uncle.
So he can write in cursive and draw?
Right, yeah, they reconnected. They basically used
Holy
like
shit.
an early Optimus bot. You know, this is just a clamp.
Write anything.
Yeah, that's what they use in
this is a
Toyota.
version of writing at the convoy trial and drawing something. And you're about to see him and his uncle playing a game.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock,
Wild.
Paper, scissors, shoot.
And then like Elon goes crazy.
We're actually actively working on giving Alex an Optimus hand so that he could actually control it in his real life.
Now, obviously, another thing that can be done is like for people that have, say, lost a limb
lost an arm or a leg or something like that, then we think in the future we'll be able to attach an Optimus arm or legs. And then I think another thing that will be possible, I think is very likely in the future, is to be able to bridge the where the damaged neurons are. So you can take the signal from the brain and transmit that signal past where the neurons are damaged or strained,
which is what we were talking about
to
earlier.
the rest of the body. So you could reanimate the body.
Hello, everyone. My name is Near.
They cut him off. They cut him off right there. But in the full video,
Elon is wild.
I watched the full video, and right there he goes, yeah, basically if you've seen Star Wars, it's like what they do with Anakin's arm when it gets cut off, and they just attach the robotic one.
Oh, fuck, that's so hot, dude. Dude, imagine, oh my God, that'd be sick, dude.
Yeah, and this is essentially the same one, but I had the part saved where Elon was saying...
Yeah, it's right here.
An Optimus robot. So you could basically inhabit an Optimus robot. It's not just the hand, the whole thing. So you could like basically...
Yeah, we'll probably have to rewind a second.
Actually, let me maybe add a few things to that, which is... as we advance the Neuralink devices, you should be able to actually have full body control and sensors from an Optimus robot. So you could basically inhabit an Optimus robot. It's not just the hand, the whole thing. So you could like basically mentally remote into an Optimus robot and be kind of cool. The future's going to be weird.
Bruh.
That's crazy, dog.
Elon is fucking crazy.
Now imagine
dog.
if you had an Optimus robot for your house to do chores around the house or whatever like that, right?
Yeah.
And then, like, my car gets a flat tire or something and I can't come to the podcast, but I can just remote tap into your Optimus robot, have it come upstairs and sit down and...
shoot a pod.
Yeah.
Fuck.
You forget if you left your stove on, so you remote tap into your fucking...
Just to check.
Right. Your girl's at home asleep and you're at work, so you just fucking tap into that Optimus robot and throw a strap on it.
Hell yeah.
Fuck your bitch while you're at work.
Lay the heat. Lay the hammer, dude. Fuck. I don't know how cool I am with that. It'd have to be like a replica of my...
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because then it's like, now like a strange dude is...
Right. But I was just saying, like, that's a crazy experience. You know what I'm saying? Like...
I like where your head's at. How the coolest thing for me about the possibility of this is for like your paraplegic or your quadriplegics, the people that have like severe neck and spinal injuries. Like, how fucking sick is that?
Well, like, I wonder how many people would rather be remote tapped into an Optimus robot than a human.
Because think about the strength that a Optimus arm would have versus your just regular.
I mean, once they work out some kinks, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I don't know.
You could have your 80-year-old grandpa helping you fucking do your floors in your house if he's just remote tapped into a younger bod.
Yeah, if
Optimus.
he's just like a little chicken McNugget on a couple of fucking Optimus legs and arms,
dude. He's in a nursing home.
Yeah,
boop. Yeah, not anymore.
Beep boop.
Right.
No.
I done shipped Grandpa's Optimus robot to fucking the Middle East, you know? He's gonna...
Damn, dude, that's wild. So then this is a fun thought experiment. Let's say that all of this is achieved tomorrow. Let's just say that it's all achieved tomorrow and it's a great success and everything works out. What is the next human-machine interface? What is the next thing? Because this is pretty much a
that would
cheat
be
code.
it. And then I think
that can't be it. There's got to be more.
Well, I'm saying I think from there you would do like Assassin's Creed, where you would tap into your ancestors through your DNA.
I think personally, in real world, real life, because I don't think that's. I think the real next step past reanimating paralyzed limbs and like. Giving your brain tapping into the brain essentially. I think the next thing.
Did you not see this about Johnny Ivy?
Let me make my point. Stop cutting me off. I think the next big step is the full integration of human and machine. I think being able to take my soul and put it into a machine, and then now we're talking about our great-great-grandchildren like we were before. You'll never die because I can just take your consciousness, and you don't need this body. I just take your fucking consciousness and throw it into a robot, and you can live forever.
That's wild. But at like what age? Like you couldn't do it at like a baby.
No,
you couldn't take a baby.
Yeah,
like you'd have to wait until
mid to late 20s, 30s. There have to be like,
I'm sure there's going to be an age cut.
It'd be like a drinking age.
But like, so you're talking about like the next things. The guy that basically helped design a bunch of the like iPhone, like bunch of Apple's products.
Yeah.
He just joined a new company that was basically like a branch off company of OpenAI.
Announced a significant hiring move in the realm of AI design. Is it Ive?
Yeah, Johnny Ive.
So
people are thinking that basically like he was like huge in the designing skills of like Apple.
Mm-hmm.
So they're assuming that you're going to get some new kind of AI powered device from basically ChatGPT.
I like that.
OpenAI is the company behind ChatGPT.
How afraid? Oh, and now that I did read something that maybe you don't know about, or maybe you've read about it as well. I was actually reading an article on AI, and you can Google me to back this up, or even ask AI itself. But like, what I read the other day was we are actually inhibiting the growth of AI due to how much we're using it. Does that make sense? So every time you use AI to make a clip of George Washington shooting a machine gun at a herd of buffalo, right? Like every time you do that, that is now something that is permanently on the internet. And then when another AI references machine gun, George Washington, or buffalo, now that is in the queue that it has to roll through. So, and that accounts for like people that are like, write me a short story about this, and then now that's in the queue for everything that's in that short story. So we're essentially inhibiting AI's growth by utilizing it in the manner that we're using it now. We're kind of like strangle. Have you read about this? Have you heard about this? We're like strangling AI because we're using it, because we pushed it to the masses too quickly.
Yeah, that's why they're building all these massive processing warehouses. And
it's
everything.
not the processing. It's the fact that whatever we do with AI is now on the internet. It's on the interweb forever.
Yeah, I mean, Google just changed the way you can search.
So future AIs are referencing shit that previous AIs have done, even for somebody dumb like us, making George Washington shoot a herd of buffalo with a machine gun.
Itself. That's what.
Not even just video, but text or questions or thoughts or poem writing or whatever. That is all now on the interweb that this new AI 10 years from now is going to have to reference.
Right. So like B was playing Roblox, and they have like a farming simulator game.
Oh yeah.
Like a grow your own garden game.
Yeah.
And so like you can now go to Gemini, Google's AI, and you can have it create a game.
I like that.
So like right here, we're just going to type in, create me a game of a rabbit that crosses a road just like the game Frogger. And you hit enter. And like what it does here, we can hit show thinking. So then it says, I'm currently fleshing out the core mechanics of this game. And it names the game.
Cross the road.
Yeah. And then literally goes like mapping out elements, all this stuff, structuring game flow, referring to the core gameplay. And then it immediately starts writing this code on the right?
Holy shit.
So it's coding this entire little section.
Yeah.
And we're watching it code in real time.
It's calling the file Rabbit Crosser Game.
Right. But look, this is already 200 lines of code deep.
Holy fuck. 300. Yeah. Easy.
So now that it's written... Oh, it's still writing.
Yeah. Fuck.
All right. So now that that's done, now it gives a sample.
No shit. And you're just using your arrow keys?
Yep, just like it says. Oh, game over. You can hit enter to play again.
What the fuck am I watching? Oh my god.
Right, and then you can go in and make adjustments all from there, like whatever you want done differently.
I want all the cars to be black Mustangs. I want all the cars to be black. No, they can't do that. It can't do that.
I don't know. We'll see. Let's see the show thinking.
Oh, no. Dude, if it does this, we're shutting the podcast down. We're fucking calling it a day, dude. This is too much for one human brain to take in.
So now it's updated the game. So then it's loading, and we're gonna get a new preview breakdown. Dog, I mean, Braden, like B's game was so simple, and like I was adding like all kinds of like add these vegetables in, add a sprinkler system that works.
Oh, you
to,
like made a game
plots.
for him?
Yeah, dog. And he sat there and played it. We played it for like 2-3 hours.
Jesus Christ.
All right, Rabbit Cross.
Right. Do that.
They're not black Mustangs.
Well, you failed. Thank God, because I didn't want to shut this podcast down.
Yeah, I mean, it says in here too. Like we could make our own emoji of a black car and then paste it in, and it would do it.
So and which you
but
can
basically,
literally
it
do.
just changed the car emoji because it was basing it all on emojis. But like, yeah, let's see here, gardening game. This is grow a garden that Braden and I made. So you start off with like 100 cents. You can plant some tomatoes. And then like we added this feature. So if for 50 coins, now it's on automatic. So as long as I have enough money to replant that, it automatically replants it. What? You can water them, make them go faster, harvest them. See, I had the money in there to automatically replant it. You got all these other games, sprinkler, you can expand the garden. All this was made completely on
AI.
Yep. It's crazy, man. I mean, you can basically create entire games now.
And this is what, you know what's funny?
And look, like I can go click code and get all the code and then click preview and go right back to where I was in the preview.
You know, there was a fun fact about the internet in like 2005, 2008. Somebody asked the question, if you could materialize the entire internet, all of the material that's on the internet that's ever existed from beginning to end, and it was in 2005, 2008, whatever, they said, what would be the mass? What would be the physical mass of the internet today? And again, this is 2005, 2008. And they said it would be about as big as a strawberry.
That's crazy.
I wonder what it is today. What, you know what I mean? What would the physical mass?
I don't know.
Dude, fiscal is like...
Physical, yeah, pH.
Yeah, you got it. I'm with you. Physical mass of the internet today. What would be the physical mass of the internet today?
What is a complex concept that can be interpreted several ways, leading to varying answers. Electronics involved, much weight, around 50 grams compared to a large strawberry. This was some years ago. Energy use, 2025, whatever, of a gram, whatever, 53 quadrillionths of a gram. A third perspective focuses on the physical infrastructure itself, which would weigh over 100 million tons, aka the size of a blue whale or a dozen of Great Pyramids at Giza. Finally, scientists have explored storing data within DNA molecules under this approach.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
The internet could weigh 1 million grams of DNA, but nobody knows what well, I guess that's a gram, but still.
Yeah. But it's just a funny thought because...
So from a strawberry to the size of a blue whale. It is crazy.
Dude, like this AI shit, we're gonna destroy our infrastructure. It's not made to handle this. A lot like if
you have to solve power.
No, like a lot like if we were to just snap our fingers and say, all right, now everybody drives an EV vehicle. You don't have an option. It's mandate by law across the world. Power grids would go down left and right because we're not built to sustain it.
Not yet.
Now, AI, I feel like that's what we've done with AI. We're like, all right, here's this great tool. It sucks up a lot of power and it requires a lot of storage.
Yeah, but it should be able, in theory, to solve its own power issues.
Should be. But I'll tell you what it doesn't solve for you. It doesn't solve the fucking millions and millions and millions of servers we're going to need to... I mean, you would need both twin towers shout out, never forget, full of just servers.
Yeah, but that's just 2 buildings. That's not a lot of space.
That
You
might
put it wherever.
That might do the U.S.
But you don't even need like
in 20 years.
Like, have you seen some of these microtrips that are zoomed in, zoomed in, zoomed in? Like, dude,
Yeah.
like you could go crazy. I feel like
Pretty gnarly. I don't know, dude.
Yeah. Where's this streaming at right now?
It's not. It's coming out next year. Hail Mary.
Yeah.
I'm big pumped on this. Big pumped on this. Is the from the same guy that wrote The Martian, Philip K. Dick. No, not Philip K. Dick. God, why can't I remember the author's name?
Oh, so he wrote a different thing?
Yeah.
Other than this?
Yeah, he wrote The Martian.
Gotcha.
That Matt Damon was in. And then he also wrote this book, Hail Mary, which is super sick, dude. Super sick. So, like, and they're almost done filming from what I've heard. But basically, this teacher gets blasted into space, and they were like, you need to basically.
It's saying stream The Martian on Disney before Project Hail Mary hits the big screen. So I guess it's loosely related.
They're not tied. No.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they're not. To my knowledge, the 2 stories, but I've not read The Martian.
I think it's still from the same author. I think the author wrote them both.
It's really tight. Spoiler alert, the teacher that goes up into space to solve the Earth's problems, he meets an alien, and the alien is called, like, X or something. Yeah, and then him and X, like, figure out a bunch of cool shit. It's tight.
Hell yeah.
It's nice, dude. I don't know, man. Also, shout out to fucking Val Kilmer, because I just watched Tombstone the other day. I fucking forgot how much I love that movie.
Yeah.
What else we got tab-wise?
Nothing. We went through them all.
Nothing else? Okay. What else we got on the docket then? What key takeaways from, what did we talk about today?
A lot.
I know. We
talked about
really only like 2 or 3 things.
4th of July.
Yeah.
And don't launch fireworks off your head.
Yeah, we did talk about the 4th of July.
We talked about
origination.
the dumbest courier and press article ever. One of the biggest fireworks displays in Evansville history that took place in secret.
Yeah, shout out to Courier and Press.
Yep, sucking.
Hashtag.
We did how the Revolutionary War was fought over a 3% tax on one product, and we pay way more than that on any product.
Yeah, we're starting a revolution.
Tesla from the Gigafactory line straight to somebody's house. We watched 2 videos on that. Well, we watched 1 video on that, 1 video on them loading themselves on a boat.
Well, let's talk key takeaways. First off, key takeaway from 4th of July. God bless America. Taxation is theft.
Yeah.
Let's start a revolution. What are your thoughts on the 4th of July?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Then we go to Tesla. Tesla just in general with Neuralink.
I think it's more like Elon in general.
Yeah, Elon with Neuralink and Tesla, he's popping off. SpaceX is wild. We didn't even cover that in today's episode, but there's all kinds of cool shit happening with SpaceX right now. I don't know. My takeaway is that, like, honestly, if I could vote for a man that was not an American citizen or not American born for president, I probably would low key vote for Elon.
Right.
And he's still
the
terrible.
Rockefellers start running.
He's really terrible at public speaking.
Yeah, I'm here for it though.
And then what was the final thing we talked about?
Just the fact that you can use AI to make apps or websites now, and it gives you the code and everything. And it's in like no time.
Final integration. So the final integration, what do you call it? The apex, when human and machine become one and indecipherable from one another.
What you would call it?
No, there's
the
a name
end of
for
humanity?
it. No, there's a name for it. What do you call it when you get into a black hole? Because that's the same thing. When you cross the event horizon. No, it's not the event horizon. It's when human and machine become one. It's like the syncope. No. There's a term for it, but we're really close to it. I feel like we're 100 years away from it. Singularity. That's what it's called. Singularity. Yeah, it's called the singularity. And that's when human and machine become.
Well, I think singularity is when humans can't tell the difference.
Yeah, it's indecipherable.
Yeah,
singularity. So I think we're 100 years away from that.
Less than that.
I think that we're 100 years away from a flesh-covered bot walking into this house and you and I not being able to tell
maybe
whether it's a human or not.
Yeah, some Terminator stuff.
Yeah.
I jokingly made a joke to my kid the other day, like, hey, we should put on Terminator and watch your future. Dude, we went We went to see How to Train a Dragon.
Oh,
the new one, the live action. They did a really good job on it.
Yeah, I heard it was
And,
good.
Yeah, there was a super emotional scene between like the dad and the son, and the whole theater's quiet. And I ripped ass right in that part.
Was it loud?
Oh yeah.
Audible?
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And Braden was like, "Dad," and like, dude, the whole theater was cracking up. It was
Nice.
It was great. Perfect timing.
Very classy.
Yeah.
Shout out to you for ruining everybody's fucking tear ducts
Yeah.
that were welling up at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we're 100 years away from a singularity. That's my takeaway from that. I don't know, man. I enjoy these, man. I enjoy these podcasts where I'm not in duress, under stress to...
It started that way.
Yeah, it did. But I enjoy just sitting here chilling, talking to my boy. We don't have to worry about like ruining somebody's business.
Right. Or ruining somebody's social credit score.
Who do we got coming up? We got a couple of good interviews coming up. We got Jeremiah Gailey getting ready to drop again, kind of. Then we've got Michael Farley's coming back into the studio. And then many more to come. So very excited. Here comes my baby boy again. Granite. Yeah, our newest adopted puppy. This has been another thrilling episode of The Days Grim. My name is Brian Michael Day.
My name is Thomas Graham.
You guys
enjoy your Tuesday.
Be safe.